What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So let's discuss the holy grail of money, personal finance, and investing. And no, it's not BitConnect. Instead, it's how to make passive income. Even more specifically than that, some specific ideas that have the potential to make $100 per day or more in passive income in 2019. But just a warning, and I say this somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but it's also kinda actually seriously true. Once you start making passive income, you'll get addicted to it. There's absolutely nothing else like it. The idea that you can go to bed at midnight and then wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and have made money while you sleep is absolutely mind-blowing when you realize just how much potential is out there. And if there's anything that I've learned over the last few years, it's the power of leveraging your time to create multiple income sources. Especially with the internet, I really believe this creates such an even playing field for anyone to go and make passive income around the clock anywhere in the world with almost zero barrier to entry. So let's discuss some of the ways that you could begin making passive income in 2019 and some of the ways that I have found that work the best. Now, when it comes to making passive income, it's really important that you understand this because there are only two categories this falls under. The first is passive income that you generate by investing your time. The second is passive income you generate by investing your money. So let's begin with the first one, and that is investing your time, because hopefully this is something we all have, unless you're too busy playing Fortnite and watching PewDiePie. Sub to PewDiePie, by the way, he needs our help. Now, creating passive income like this means you invest your time up front, creating the income source that then pays you in the future regardless of how many more hours you spend on it. So we're going to be starting with my favorite way of investing your time to create passive income, and that is by smashing that like button if you haven't already. Okay, no, but for real though, the real answer to this is making passive income here on YouTube. And a very easy, simple, practical way for most people to get started doing this is with affiliate marketing. And this is when you promote another service or an item and you get paid a percentage every time someone buys it through you. And the easiest way for most people to get started doing this is through the Amazon affiliate program. Now, this is awesome because almost anyone can join and you can literally promote just about any product on the history of Amazon and get paid for it. Like this really amazing Nicolas Cage pillowcase. Link in description. But for real though, this is something I started doing about 2 years ago, and I now make between $500 and $700 per month in affiliate commissions from Amazon. This is for absolutely zero work on my end, besides just linking to popular items that I use in the description that other people might want to buy. So how then does this apply to you? And the easiest way of doing this is to review the products that you use on a daily basis, post them on YouTube, and then rank them on the first page of the YouTube search results. For example, let's just say you love coffee as much as I do, which, let's be real, no one loves coffee as much as I do, but let's just assume you do. You can make a video and title it, "The Best Keurig Coffee Makers in 2019. Then make a video reviewing your favorite coffee maker. For instance, you can unbox it, and those videos always tend to do pretty well. Ask me how I know. And then you can review it, maybe show how it works, or maybe do a taste test of different Keurig coffee cups or whatever it is that they use. And then you can learn some really basic YouTube SEO techniques to rank that video on the front page of those searches. Then find that exact same coffee maker on Amazon, and you can use that affiliate link in your video and in your description. Then anytime someone goes on the internets and goes on YouTube and types in "the best Keurig coffee maker on YouTube in 2019, guess what? Your video comes up. Then hopefully they're going to click on your video and use your affiliate link to go and buy it because hopefully they really enjoyed your review. And trust me, if someone is on YouTube searching for the best coffee makers in 2019, they're the most qualified, ready to buy people in the entire planet. Like, they're literally wanting to buy a coffee maker. They're in the market right now for a coffee maker. And if you have the video that's there that helps them, chances are they're going to use your link. And this is something you could do with literally anything. Like, you could review the best vacuum cleaner of 2019. You could review the best TV 2019. The best avocado toast merch 2019, which is grahamstephanstore.com. Now, keep in mind that making one video on its own is not going to get you Lambo money. But just imagine if you film one review video every other day with the products that you use and like the most. And then let's assume that each review generates you on average of just 50 cents every single day in affiliate commission. Now, that might not seem like a lot of money right now, but if you do this consistently for an entire year, that could add up to about $90 per day in passive affiliate commission. And some of the videos you make will become evergreen videos, which means that they're going to be around for years and people can watch them without becoming irrelevant. like rice gum. Now, the power of doing this is doing it long-term, consistently, and then watching the passive income build up over time. And this is something that pretty much anyone can do. You could also implement affiliate marketing in a multitude of other ways, for instance, like with Robinhood. Everyone always tends to give out their Robinhood affiliate link, and when the other person signs up, you both get a free stock. And this is a pretty easy way for someone to make about $500. Or there's another stock trading app out there called Webull, which does pretty much the same thing, except if the other person signs up without even needing a deposit, they just sign up, you both get a free stock that could be valued up to a few $100s. And by the way, just for fun, I'm going to put my Webull affiliate link in the description. If you just sign up, there's no deposit required. Literally, just sign up. We both end up getting a free stock. And that is a perfect example of exactly how affiliate marketing works. But for real though, there are thousands of different products and companies out there that pay affiliate commissions, so when it comes to doing this, the sky is pretty much the limit. Now, my second example of making passive income really just expands on the first example, and that's by using those videos to gain a small following of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time so that you can then monetize those videos with ads. And in my opinion, this is probably one of the coolest forms of passive income. For example, I could spend about 9 hours creating a video, posting it on YouTube, and that video could generate revenue for months or even years later, regardless of anything else that I do. For example, I made this Roth IRA video almost 2 years ago, and it still makes between $5 and $40 every single day. And over the lifetime of this video, I've made about $5,300. And this could continue paying me $5 to $40 per day indefinitely as long as YouTube is still around. All of this requires no further involvement from me. Once I make the video, I post it, I rank it on the search results, and that's pretty much it. Now consider that I've been making 3 videos every single week for over 2 years. And even if each of those videos just generates a few dollars in ad revenue per day, that adds up insanely quickly. Like right now, for instance, my channel is doing anywhere between $1,200 and over $2,000 in ad revenue every single day. And I would say that probably from that amount, about $500 of that is from old videos I posted months or sometimes even years ago that still come up recommended on the search results. Another example here is a video that I posted almost 2 years ago that is still making about $300 per month. Or this one that's over a year old and still making almost $500 per month. And again, something like this is very, very, very slow to start. In the beginning, you might only make like 50 cents or even like $1 a day. But once you start getting a backlog of videos over months or even years that rank on the search results and get a consistent amount of views, this starts to add up to something pretty substantial. Now, the best way for you to do this, in my opinion, is to make how-to videos that you think people will be searching for long term. Like how to install Microsoft Word, how to invest in an index fund, how to make a YouTube video, how to decorate a Christmas tree, and how to smash that like button if you didn't do it the first time. Like, you could pretty much make videos on anything that you think someone will be typing in the YouTube search bar. This is the best way to have your videos get a very consistent amount of views long term, and then you just build up a backlog of a ton of videos over the next few months or even few years that all get a consistent amount of views and make a consistent amount of revenue. And of course, quick shameless plug, but I do have a program in the description if you didn't know about it that teaches you exactly how to do this and way more. It's called the YouTube Creator Academy, so go ahead, check that out. Link in the description, and also 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't like it, which is impossible. Of course you're gonna like it. But wait a second. That brings me into the third way of making passive income with YouTube, and that is by creating a how-to program. For example, like that YouTube Creator Academy that I spent 4 months creating. And even though this is brand new and I just launched it, so I don't have any sales numbers to share with you guys, I have a feeling that this will be running on its own for quite some time. And also, this video is working 24/7 because right now I'm just probably sitting there answering comments in the comment section. So go ahead and comment down below. I'll probably respond to you. But besides that one, I also spent about another half year creating the program called the Real Estate Agent Academy, which teaches real estate agents how they can make money and grow in the business. Now, this came about while I was working as a real estate agent and kept getting people asking me for paid one-on-one mentoring or coaching, which I really didn't have time for. So instead, I decided to create a one-size-fits-all program that anyone can use and implement that didn't take up really much more of my time. Now, even though I don't push this down anyone's throat and I don't really promote it that much, I still made about $100,000 by doing this. And I have a feeling this is going to continue generating revenue for years to come because I wanted to make it as evergreen as I could so it would never be outdated. But of course, I'm sure some people will start to think, but Graham, what if I have nothing to teach? This is bad advice, Graham. Dislike, sub. But I almost guarantee you have something, like maybe you're a very good musician and you can teach people how to play your instrument, or maybe you're a really talented artist and you can teach people how to art. Or maybe if you're into fitness, you could teach people how to get yoked. Now, of course, I gotta say this before everyone just jumps on the bandwagon with this, but you should never, ever, ever release a subpar program. And you should also always put the customer first. Basically, just don't do a Brittany Dawn. Innocent until proven guilty. But when this is done right, when you give the customer more than what they pay for, and when you put their needs first, you'll do incredibly well long term. This is really about longevity and building a long-lasting business with a loyal fan base. This is not about just trying to rake in as much money as possible by scamming people. Don't do that. Don't be a scam. Now, another great way to make some additional passive income by investing your time is to rent out any of your unused rooms on Airbnb, VRBO, HomeAway, or any of these other sites, or even just renting out one of your unused rooms as a short-term lease. You can even go further than this and rent out a garage or any other additional space you have as storage. Now, this might be something that requires a little bit more work than some of the other things I've mentioned, but once you get it up and running, it tends to be pretty easy to manage. As a good example of this, my friend Brandon, which, what's up, dude, if you're watching this, has a 3-bedroom townhome near a hospital. So he decided to rent out the 2 unused bedrooms to interning nurses at the hospital who wanted to be walking distance to work, but who weren't going to be working there long enough to sign a 1-year lease anywhere else. So he ended up renting out those 2 rooms furnished between 3 and 6 month leases for $1,500 per room per month. That is $100 per day in income for rooms that he was just not using. And by doing this, it paid all of his expenses. It paid the mortgage, the property taxes, the insurance, and the HOA, and he rarely ever saw the nurses anyway because they were working like 18 hours a day. So there was really no conflict. You barely even noticed that anyone else lived there, and it's $100 a day. I also had another friend rent out his unused garage space as storage to a nearby business who paid him, I think it was $300 per month, just to have access to half of the garage as storage. That, I gotta say, is pretty much as passive as it gets. So if you're living in a place right now that has an unused room and you don't mind sharing that space with a roommate who preferably is really quiet and is never home and always works, this could be a great way to generate some additional passive income by using just what you already have. The same thing also applies if you have an unused garage or any sort of extra storage. Chances are someone could use and pay for that. Now, one more thing I want to mention when it comes to investing your time to create passive income, and that could be creating a blog on any sort of topic you're interested in. And with this, you'll generate similar income to as you would make on YouTube. For instance, you'll have ads that will pay you anytime they're clicked. You can also have affiliate marketing in your blogs, and you can also sell a how-to program or course from people who read your blog and enjoy it. And if you understand Google search engine optimization, hopefully you can rank that blog on the first page of any sort of niche topic that you're interested in. And with that, it's just something that you spend the time creating and setting up, and then running it requires much less maintenance. So now let's move on to some of the other ways you can begin creating some passive income without investing your time, but instead investing your money. So this is what you could start doing with your money to make it work for you 24/7. The first is by investing in dividend-paying stocks. These are the stocks that you can invest in that typically have a payout every 3 months, and that payout usually ranges between 1 and 8% annually. Now, of course, there are stocks out there that will pay way more than 8%. Just be aware that this is typically an anomaly. It doesn't mean that that is going to consistently pay that amount, and that is very risky. So just want to say buyer beware. But of course, as an example, invest in Walmart, and that will pay you a dividend of 2% annually, in addition to hopefully also the price of the stock going up at the same time. And also, Coca-Cola pays a 3.53% dividend annually, and General Motors pays 3.8% annually. And yes, this would take a lot of money before you start making $100 a day in dividend passive income, about $1 million to be exact. But the goal of this isn't so much to try to reach $100 as quick as possible, it's to begin building this up over time in conjunction with other passive income sources to get you to that point. And typically with dividend-paying stocks, what you want to see is a mix between dividends and also long-term stock growth. So that way, it doesn't matter if you're getting a 10% dividend every single year when the stock price goes down 12% a year. That just means you're losing money. But ideally, you should get paid out a little bit while the stock price is also going up at the same time. And also make sure to ideally hold dividend stocks in any sort of tax-advantaged account, because dividend income gets taxed as ordinary income, which is a lot higher than long-term capital gains. So just be aware of that, and hopefully it's in a Roth IRA or a 401k. Now, the second way to buy your way to passive income by investing your money is by investing that in growth stocks. Now, these are stocks that don't pay a dividend to their investors, but because they don't pay a dividend, they should have more free cash on hand to invest back into the business, which should thereby increase the price of the stock. And while some stocks might do extraordinarily well and double within a year, like with AMD, you could also just track the entire index of the market and receive somewhere between a 5 and 8% return annually. This means long-term, on average, you should get about $700 per year for every $10,000 that you invest. And again, this might seem like a really slow start to begin with, but just like making YouTube videos, the real growth happens when you do this long-term consistently and build a backlog of money that's working for you, making you even more money, making you even more money, making you even more money until eventually you're at $100 a day. This is all very much a long-term consistent strategy where slow and steady wins the race. And of course, come on, you know I can't do a video about passive income without mentioning my favorite source of passive income in the entire world, the holy grail of passive income, and that would be real estate. Now, the reason I like this so much is because there are so many different ways you could make passive income with real estate, I don't even know where to start, so I'm just gonna start here. Now, the first way of doing this is going the traditional route of buying real estate to then rent out. And the rent that you receive should cover your mortgage, your property taxes, your insurance, any other repairs, any other vacancy, and give you some cash flow on top of all of it. To me, I absolutely love this, and this is like getting a whole bunch of mini paydays on the first of every single month. And even though, yes, this does take a lot of time to set up and get running, once it's up and running, it takes very little time to manage just to keep it going. Now, the second way you can make passive income by doing this is doing what's called house hacking, which is where you buy a 2 to 4 unit building, live in one of the units, and then rent out the other units. And the rent that you get from the other units should cover the entire cost of owning the property, and then you get to live there for free. Or you can house hack like my buddy Brandon by just renting out the unused rooms that you don't need or any unused storage space. Now, in addition to making your money from rents, you're also paying down the mortgage balance every single month, which is another form of passive income. And long term, your property should also go up in value, which, guess what, is another source of passive income. And yes, of course, this is something that requires upfront work and capital to set up, but if you can come up with a 10 to 20% down payment, and you don't mind taking the time to learn about doing this and putting in some of the work, this could be a phenomenal passive income investment long term. And I've seen people making $100 per day in net profit with about $160,000 invested in real estate. Of course, depending on the area, the location, the tenants, some of the numbers, and the loan that they get, but with some time, research, dedication, and skill, this is absolutely doable. Now, the same might also be able to be said about owning any sort of self-storage or laundromats or any other semi-absentee owned business like this. But because I don't have any personal experience on this, I've never done it myself, I don't really want to speak about how to do something that I've never done myself. It just seems weird to do, so I'm going to leave that to the experts. I'm sure you can find people on YouTube that have done this themselves that have great insights into those industries. So with that said, these are my favorite ways to make passive income in 2019, and the purpose of this video is really just to spark your interest and get you thinking a little bit more about which direction you want to go and which ideas you really want to implement the most. And of course, it's not about just picking one of these things and then trying to scale that to $100 a day as quickly as you can. It's really about implementing as many different income streams as you can and then building that up over time into something substantial. And trust me when I say this, once you get started on this path and once you make your first dollar in passive income, you're never going to want to stop. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys made it to the very end, you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to smash that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you can be a part of the notification squad because I post videos 3 times a week. Hit that like button. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily. So if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.